Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Anime One back with another video, and today I'm here with another part of what if Naruto had the jougan. So if you guys like the content in the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, also like this video. So let's begin the video. We cut back to the time when Naruto and Nagato left the Rain Village for 6 months, and 6 months extra were left until they went back. So yeah, many things that happened in the 6 months. Naruto had recruited many people into the Akatsuki, like Kakuzu, Deidara, and Sasori. These three were the extra members that he had added. They all were on a mission to earn money for, their survival, and Naruto was on a specific mission to, assassinate someone. He didn't like these missions, but he had to do what he had to do, so might as well do it. And Naruto was currently doing his job. He had his jougan opened up, and when his jougan was opened up, he could completely erase his existence or presence so that no one can sense him. And he was currently on top of a castle, and no one could sense him, so no one thought there was anyone. You could only see him if he had the Byakugan or something like that. Naruto was looking at his target. He had his hand in a gun-like position. Naruto sighed. Well, might as well do this, he thought, as he saw a Jonin beside a girl. She was a daimyo's daughter. He didn't like it, but again, he had to do what he had to do. The Jonin was, of the Leaf Village, and he wondered, was Leaf stupid enough to deploy fucking Jonins out there? Then it was the time of the war. How can someone be so stupid? But he was whatever. He fired off a beam that went so fast that for a normal shinobi, they wouldn't be able to sense it. The shinobi that was guarding the girl was, not a normal one. Several snakes latched out from the shinobi's hand and blocked the Chakra's gun that was coming towards the girl. Miss, please go and hide, the man said. The lady who was frightened that her life was about to be taken and just nodded and went to a hiding spot with the other two Chunins that were with the girl. Jonin looked around and spotted the guy. Why don't you come outside, Moon Eye? He said. As soon as he said that, Naruto vanished at the top of the castle and appeared in front of the man. I must have guessed. Only Leaf could only deploy Jonins like you in the time of the war. Isn't that right? Orochimaru of the Sanin. It's an honor to meet you. Honestly, I have not fought someone in Kage level in a long time. If you consider 2 weeks a long time, then I guess it is. Naruto said with a smirk. Orochimaru licked his lips. That left eye of yours is amusing, and that scar over your left eye. I wonder who has enough strength to give you a nasty scar like that. But I guess it doesn't matter. Once I capture you, I'll do many experiments and figure out how to duplicate that eye. And best, I'll snatch it for myself. That eye's visual powers even surpass the Sharingan by a far, far level from the rumors I have heard. Naruto had a dead serious look on his face now. I welcome you to try it, Snake, he said as Naruto had a sword seated right on his waist. Orochimaru, taking this opportunity, quickly leapt off with all his speed. He knew for a fact that the man was very fast, and he couldn't hold back. Orochimaru went straight for the eye, but almighty push. Naruto said in such a low tone that Orochimaru barely heard it, but he did. Orochimaru was blown away with such force that he didn't think that it was one human that was doing this. He gritted his teeth and several snakes erupted from around him and tried to catch him, but, well, they were blown away as well. Orochimaru skidded back as he got himself composed. What the hell? He thought. But then he received a kick right to his stomach as Orochimaru's eyes almost bulged out the sockets with how hard the kick was. Naruto was looking at the snake with an unfazed look. This all you've got? If this is it, I'm disappointed. The Sanis don't deserve that title. If this is all you've got, Orochimaru, he said as he kicked Orochimaru up, and as Orochimaru was mid-air, Naruto appeared upwards. And I hope this will be your end. He unseated his sword and brought it down. But Orochimaru disappeared into snakes as he appeared a distance away, panting a little. Amazing. That kinetic vision that you have with that eye, I can already sense it. It's much greater than even the Sharingan. That eye will be mine, Orochimaru said as Naruto could sense it. Nature energy, he thought. Orochimaru was gathering nature energy at a fast rate. This is gonna be amusing, Naruto thought again. He readied himself, but he was not ready. Orochimaru disappeared and appeared in front of Naruto with his Kusanagi blade out. Naruto cursed. This bastard, this is definitely fast, but he is not fast enough to outmaneuver my jougan. He blocked the strike from Orochimaru as Orochimaru smirked. Normal people would have been dead if I used my Sage mode and my full speed at the same time, but you blocked it quite easily. Impressive. Naruto still had an amused or an unimpressed look on his face. So boring. That was all the words that Naruto muttered as electricity erupted from Naruto's body as Orochimaru was forced to jump back. As few electric dragons came rushing towards Orochimaru, who cursed. These were not ordinary dragons. All of those 4 dragons were S-rank jutsu. What the hell is this monster? Orochimaru thought. But then he went through hand signs and slammed his hand on the ground. Summon gates, he said, as 4 gates erupted from the ground that were very tall and were barely managed to stop the 4 dragons from coming towards him. Orochimaru saw the last gate was about to break, but it didn't. He sighed. Maybe this was good. But then he felt something behind them. It's over, Snake. With that, Naruto brought his sword right down, but Orochimaru again dispersed into Snake as he cursed as he appeared a distance away. The rumors are true. You are fast as a flash, and also you are never caught off guard. Your offensive jutsus are impressive, and you are the one who took down the 3rd Raikage. That is for the sure, and took back the land of the Uzumakis. Should have expected from this much from someone like you, Orochimaru said, but then he licked his lips. I wonder if you're strong enough for this. He then went through hand signs, as his sword was surrounded with, well, wind chakra nature. Naruto had a amused look on his face. Wind, huh? He thinks that I only have lightning chakra nature. Well, let's give the snake a little surprise, but not right now. I'll just make him feel how hopeless this battle really is. They both rushed at each other as they both started clashing their swords. Naruto's sword was very, very, very special. It was the last sword of those monkey clan that had not been wielded by anyone. It was the sword passed down by the sage of the six path himself. He thought that those monkeys, since they were the purest of the Senju, Uchiha, and those monkeys, they could be able to wield the sword with the power and chakra levels they have. But no Uzumaki could do that. The sword had a blue hilt with a dragon skull built right at the end of the hilt, and the blade was a pure black color with a little bit of silver running down its edges, which made it look more menacing. Orochimaru knew that blade well, but he didn't know its abilities. He knew that blade was supposedly passed down by the sage of the six paths, but let's see, does it compete with the Kusanagi, which is considered as one of the four legendary swords? Orochimaru smirked, as the wind nature that he had was overpowering Naruto's, but Naruto smirked back, as the lightning around his sword started getting magnified. What? Orochimaru thought, but this couldn't be happening. How the hell is lightning beating my wind? It's my strongest chakra nature, Orochimaru thought. Naruto smirked. The special sword that you know of is that passed down by the sage of the six paths himself. Do you ever wonder why it's such a legendary sword? It requires, someone with my eye to wield it. The sage of the six paths didn't have that my eye himself, and he couldn't wield the sword, but he had foreseen someone in the future to wield it, so he passed down to the Uzumaki clan. Unfortunately, I was the one who got this sword. It magnifies all of the attacks you do with it and your strength by, tenfolds. So, the start of this battle, it was already decided who would win, Snake. Naruto said. Orochimaru cursed. This couldn't be happening. He said, but then Naruto disappeared. What? No, it's the end for you. Orochimaru's blood went cold as a sword pierced right where his heart was, as he coughed out blood. But how? He said as he looked back, and to see the black eye with the iris and the blue and silvery glowish eye looking at him with an emotionless look. I am a born conqueror, a born emperor, someone who doesn't let his guard down. You should know that by the rumors. Well, I guess it doesn't matter anyway, since you're gonna die, and I'm gonna fulfill my mission. This is how it goes. Sorry, Orochimaru, but, this is the end for you, Snake. Naruto extracted a sword from Orochimaru's chest as the snake fell down. Naruto looked at Orochimaru's body and then closed his jougan. What a waste of time. Now where is the princess? He closed his eyes and started sensing. There she is. He went off, but before he could... What? Naruto looked down to see a sword right through his chest. How? He looked back to see Orochimaru smirking. I thought you would never let a guard down. He called me a snake, and the signature techniques of snakes are that they are very manipulating, and they can shed their skins, and I did the same. I'll admit the damage that you have given to me is not something that can be recovered, but however, he said, and he started expanding into a 8-headed Hydra snake. As one of the Hydra snakes opened his mouth, Naruto's wound was already healed. As Naruto looked up at the scene, shit, he thought. All the Hydras came down, but Naruto was exhausted. Damn it, I shouldn't have got this cocky and just extended the battle. I'm exhausted right now. Can't even move, he thought, as all the snakes dropped down on him. Orochimaru was enraged. You think you won the battle, brat? I'll make sure to rip you to shreds and get the living eye out of your socket and do many experiments and then make their power my own. You are done for, Moon Eye, he said, as he was smacking down. All the snakes' head were smacking down where Naruto was, who was, well, his eyes were closed, and he was laying down. And then, Orochimaru, Snake, one of them, when they went to give him another headbutt, fell nothing. But where the hell did he? Orochimaru started looking around, but then he heard a voice. Hey! He looked up to see Naruto floating up in the air with strange markings going up his body. Don't get cocky, you inferior creature. Naruto said that as a silvery, like a galaxy aura was surrounding him. Who the hell are you? What the hell are you? Orochimaru said. Naruto spoke in a voice that was not his own. I am a god. And with that, Naruto left off. The speed that even Orochimaru could not follow. Naruto appeared at the down of the snake and kicked them away. And the snakes were sent flying. Naruto unseated his sword as he grabbed it by both of his hands. He brought it down. This should do the job of, well, getting those snakes' heads down. Ellipse, he said, as 7 of the snakes' heads were, well, chopped off. Orochimaru was speechless. What the hell was this power? The jougan was looking more intimidating somehow. How the hell is this happening? Then the figure appeared in front of Orochimaru and kicked him up in the air as the 8-headed Hydra was sent up in the air as Naruto appeared on top of it and kicked him down as Orochimaru coughed out blood as a snake that only one head was left also coughed out blood as he landed down on the ground with a loud boom. As there was a huge dent on the ground where Orochimaru landed. Naruto, who landed gracefully on top of Orochimaru, just looked at his hand. Well, would you look at that? A snake bowing down to a god fits you right. But since you are a danger to this boy, who, well, destiny, I'm very, well, you could say interested in, and he bears a little bit of my power. I can't just not let you kill him right now until he fulfills his role. That's what gods do, mortal. He held out his hand. I haven't used this move in a long time, so might as well. Eclipse release. Destructive. Cyclone. Spinning balls started appearing in his hand as it was, well, silver color. The ball got larger, and larger as Naruto started floating up off the ground. As he looked down at Orochimaru, farewell with this attack, even with your setting snake body. and maybe if any other morals of your, well, reincarnation techniques that you might have. You will not be able to use it. It will extinguish your soul to its very core. Goodbye, Orochimaru of the Sanin. He said as he brought the attack down. Orochimaru could only, well, see the entirety of his life flash before his eyes before the ball made contact with him, and a huge explosion went off. Kisame, he was in a distance, coming back to where Naruto told him to meet him at, saw the explosion, and it was not a normal one. The explosion went off, well, to 2 kilometers of the radius, and Kisame landed at the where the explosion went off after a few minutes. To see Naruto landing, just sleeping or knocked out in the middle of the crater. Well, that's amusing. I never thought I would see this day to see a leader down like that. But I guess whoever he met, well, must be a worthy foe. He thought as he went down to pick Naruto up, as he also had Samihara on his back, that he got by killing his, well, old master. Naruto, with his letters, had told Kisame that he should get one of the 7 swords for himself and then leave Kiri. Anyway, that would be good. Kisame smirked. He would tease his leader about this, being knocked out, huh? Well, that would be interesting, he thought, as he jumped up. A few days later, in Konoha, Hiruzen Sarutobi was in his desk, wide-eyed as he heard the news. What do you mean? Orochimaru was killed, and there is no trace left of his body or his existence? Hiruzen said. The Jiraiya nodded. Yes, indeed it is. I'm sorry, Sensei, but the one who killed him was Naruto, Minato's son, he said. Hiruzen clenched his fist. That boy is nothing but trouble. Jiraiya, where does he live? He said. Jiraiya widened his eye. You can't be serious. We are at war with Kumo and we have you and the others to fend them off. They're not as strong as how they used to be. So we're good on that. I'll be going there myself, along with Minato and Sakamoto. Get ready. Where do they live? Jiraiya gulped. He had never seen his sensei so furious. Well, Orochimaru was his prized student, so he sighed. In the Rain Village, he has not been there for a long time, but that is where, well, the remaining Uzumakis live. Sensei, you do know that Naruto does hate the leaf, right? And for good reasons. Hiruzen calmed down his anger. Yes, we abandoned them at the time they needed us. And well, that Danzo, that fucking bastard. If I knew, I would have killed him sooner. Well, I have done the deed. There is no meaning in doing it anymore. Danzo is dead, and I killed him with my own hands. And when I found out what happened, flashback. Hiruzen was, well, in front of Menma, one of his, well, accomplices. He was, well, 20 years old, and Menma was talking to him. Hiruzen was wide-eyed. How did you find out this information, Menma? Menma looked at Hiruzen. Well, one of those monkeys, when I went to the Rain Village, were, well, telling me about this. That many men with just plain white masks were attacking them and saying that this is for Konoha's sake when the refugees of those monkeys were trying to come back. Many of them were captured, but Naruto Uzumaki managed to free them all, and also half of them were killed. It's no wonder why the boy hates the leaf so much. And you and me both know well Hokage, who runs, rude operation that has, a white mask, an Ambu operation. You know who did this, don't you? Ryujin clenched his fist. I've let the bastard run around for too long. I'll meet him, and I'll end him. He has done treason at the maximum level. Those Makis were our friends. Mito-san and Kushina will be furious if they hear this. This news shouldn't get out anywhere, okay? It's only gonna be between us. Got it, Minma? Minma nodded. Of course, he said, as he bowed to the Hokage and he left the room. Hiruzen was now downright furious. He would let Danzo get away with anything, and he meant almost anything, even if the bastard tried to assassinate him. But assassinating the Uzumakis that were seeking help in the Leaf Village in the time of their needs was not something that he would just let it pass. He confronted Danzo, and Danzo admitted it. He said it was for the sake of Konoha. Hiruzen disagreed, and they fought. Danzo didn't stand a chance. He didn't have Izanagi like in the canon, since the Uchiha were alive, and Kagami Uchiha was also alive, so he didn't have an eye patch. And he was no match for Hiruzen. He died that day, and so did the root operation. Hiruzen shuddered at the thought. That was one of his bloodiest battles that he had fought. And he had fought many bloody battles, since he was one of the reasons that the Leaf won the Second Great Shinobi War. He had went there at himself in the battle, and things weren't good. For a reason, he was known as the god of the shinobi, and that was for a good reason. He knew for a fact that one man in the Leaf Village would surpass him, and that man was raising in ranks very soon. And here's a know for a fact that after this war, his Hokage seat would be taken. He smiled at the thought of the blonde-haired man. The man was noble, intelligent, strong, and most of all, he was loved by everyone. He would do anything for the sake of the village. Hiruzen remembered the broken look in Minato's eyes when he had to send Naruto away. But then, the Kushina, he didn't want to think about that. Kushina almost looked like she had lost a part of herself. Minato didn't show it, but Kushina was not afraid to. She had not talked to people for, a few weeks. Just stayed in her room, shut it down, just eat, sleep, and cry. That was all that the poor Uzumaki did. But she remembered she had another child. It was after a few years that she was opening up, and then she had another child, Mito Uzumaki. That girl brought Kushina had joy in her life back, but Hiruzen knew for a fact that some wounds cannot be healed, no matter how hard you try. And the wound in Minato and Kushina's heart was just sending their son away, and him turning out to hate the Leaf Village was the one that would never be healed. They had lost their son forever. It was like they had to choose between the Leaf Village and their son. He knew for a fact that Minato would choose the Leaf, but he wasn't so sure about Kushina. He sighed. He would do what was necessary as Hokage, and if it meant killing the son of his, successor, so be it. The rain village, huh? Harrison thought. Well, I could explain things to those monkeys and make them come back to the leaf village as a residence. That would be good. But first, I know for a fact that Naruto Uzumaki won't agree to this. He needs to get out of the way. I'm sorry, Minato, Kushina, and especially you, Minato, since there are high chances that you'll be fighting your own son, since you'll be the strongest ninja in our forces. Even I cannot compete with you anymore. Your dad, you have become that strong, young man. And you might have to fight the strongest warrior in the forces of Hanzo. So this is gonna be a war. I have no other choice but to do this. He called for Ambus that were around them. Ambus, call all the Jonins that are in the village. Minato, well, Sakumo, and also call, what was his name again? Hirsen said. He was becoming old and he was becoming more senile. Ah, shit, yes. His name was, Fugaku. Call them all. And tell them it's a war protocol and not be late. The Anbus nodded as they leapt off. Hirsen looked out of the window at the village. This had to be done. He had to stealth his heart and do this. It was the only way